Hi everyone, Amy Miller hopping on live today. I want to talk about a topic that keeps coming up often, which is cross-functional team collaboration and the challenges that teams are dealing with when it comes to that cross-functional team friction. So if you ever catch yourself saying things like, why or thinking, why are they making this so difficult? If it's maybe a different department that you feel like you're forced to work with, maybe it's marketing, maybe it's sales, maybe it's HR, maybe it's another leader. And the thing is, everyone is trying to accomplish the same goal, but somehow it still feels harder to work together than it should. And if you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. I hear about this challenge often, and there's a lot of research on it as well. And I was thinking about it, having a recent conversation with a leader whose organization is becoming increasingly matrixed, whereas a few years ago, there was mostly one reporting structure that teams would work within. But now they're working alongside enterprise account managers and strategic account managers and specialists and medical affairs. So you have multiple groups all working together, and everyone, of course, is working toward the same outcome, and everyone has their unique talent that they're bringing to the table. But there's still a lot of frustration. And so what do we do about this? How can we get teams working better together when everyone has the same goal, but there's this friction? Why is it happening, and what can we do about it? Well, communication, of course, is often a challenge that I see, because we are all coming to the situation with our own unique perspective, our own personal goals and agenda, our own success metrics. But I think that the solution starts one layer deeper than communication. I think it starts with understanding. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of research on this. So if you feel like you or your team is alone in this struggle, it's actually very normal. I was reading an article in HBR that talked about a study across 95 cross-functional teams across 25 companies. And it said that nearly 75% of these teams were considered dysfunctional, meaning they could be missing deadlines, missing budgets, somehow falling short of expectations. And so if your team is struggling, this is actually very common. And another article I was reading found that most leaders experience what researchers call collaboration drag. And this can mean too many meetings, or chasing down people before you're making a decision, confusion over who has ownership. So again, this is very normal. It's not unusual. Now, why does it happen? I think that when we don't have the full picture, we make assumptions. So we can assume, for example, that people are difficult, but the research shows something different. Research on matrix organizations talks about how the purpose of these organizations is intentionally to trade clarity somewhat for flexibility. And this allows organizations to move faster, to serve customers better, to bring together different areas of expertise, but then along with it, you have ambiguity. And so the question is it a people problem? Because it can feel and seem like, okay, this is a performance problem. So-and-so doesn't know how to communicate well with so-and-so, or these teams they don't have the skill set to collaborate together. So it can look like on the surface a performance problem. But what if it's instead an information problem? Because when for example, if I don't understand your job, your day in the life, your struggles, what success looks like for you, well, then I'm left to fill in the blanks. And I might make assumptions that you're slowing me down, or that you are creating extra work, or that you're not taking into consideration what I need to get done, or what my day in the life looks like, or the struggles that my customers might be dealing with. And the other person might be looking at me, the same exact way. So it's about perspective. And I want you to think about a perspective shift. If you can challenge one sentence to help you change your perspective, if you or your team is struggling with this cross-functional friction, instead of thinking, I have to work with this team, I'm forced to work with this team, what if we change that to, I get to work with this team. Not because just becoming positive all of a sudden is going to fix the problem, but it's bringing curiosity into the dynamic. Because if you are instead getting curious about how the other team can help you, then you start to think about or be able to ask yourself the question, what if I get to work with this team instead of why do I have to work with this team? Instead of asking why are they making this harder, you could instead ask what pressures are they under that I don't see? What does their day in the life look like? What success metrics are they being held to? And then also, how does their role help my role? And this is where drivers come in. This is something that I often teach and talk about, and that's understanding your drivers, which are activities that naturally energize you. And when you intentionally incorporate more of those activities, well, then your confidence grows, your motivation grows, and you become more resilient. And the same thing can be true across teams. People feel more engaged when they understand why their work matters and how they can work together and how everybody else's work contributes as well. And so the drivers that I talk about are emotions and activities that energize and engage you. And there's research that also talks about 4 core human drives. I mentioned these last week, but I'll mention them again. The drive to acquire, the drive to bond, the drive to comprehend, and to defend. And the one that stands out here is the drive to bond. People want connection. We want to feel belonging, and collaboration supports this need to bond. So this brings me to one of my favorite concepts that I also mention quite a bit, and it's called transactive memory system. And don't worry about remembering the name. Just focus on remembering the idea, which is I don't have to know everything. I just need to know who knows what. Think about your team, how much faster you might solve a problem when everyone knows where the resources are, who the expert is to go to for each specific area, what each individual person is responsible for, and what challenges each person or team faces, and when to involve them. And when we understand where our resources are, we're much more likely to utilize them. And that way we can take action faster instead of remaining stuck. And a way to build this on your team, to create this sort of rhythm or dynamic on your team, is to have either at your weekly meetings or at a larger company meeting, have one person or one department take 5 to 10 minutes to answer just 4 simple questions for all of the different teams. So here's what we do. Here's what success looks like. These are the challenges that we're solving, and here's how you can use us. So if every department does this, so marketing, sales, operations, finance, or if there's multiple different sales teams that are collaborating together, you could do this exercise, have one person from each team share. So then if you can imagine if you don't have this in place and you have a sales rep, for example, trying to solve a challenge that they don't have the tools to solve, and they don't know who to go to get the tools, and they spend a couple weeks trying to solve this challenge, only later to discover, oh, you know what, there's a specialist on the team who solves these challenges every day. So then the same problem could be solved with a 15-minute conversation versus time spent staying stuck. And so what changes is the awareness. Just being aware of who knows what the different struggles each team is dealing with, and how the teams can help leverage their strengths, can help teams appreciate the opportunity to work together and shift their perspective around from having to work together to getting to work together. So I'll leave you with one challenge that you can take away for this week. Think about the team that frustrates you the most, and then ask yourself just one question. What do you not understand about their world. Because when we increase our understanding, then our trust grows and then collaboration becomes easier. And what might happen is maybe the team that you felt like was slowing you down ends up becoming one of your greatest resources. Just a quick video today. I wanted to share this idea and what I'm seeing in case it's something that you or your team is struggling with. And if so, and you'd like to continue the conversation, you're welcome to reach out. You can book a call or message me at amyleemiller.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.